Hey everybody, sneak attack live stream. I'll give you a couple minutes. I only have about an hour. What's up, Gory Tiger? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Sorry about the sunglasses, but my eye is very jacked up this morning with allergies. It's super red. I did put some drops in it, some allergy drops, so hopefully it will clear up here in a few minutes and stop burning, and I can stop looking like I'm trying to make a fashion statement. But man, do we have some stuff to talk about with this Scream Factory Shout Studios. Real quick, it's just easier for me to do a live than keep responding to everyone, because you know I do most of my physical media stuff now on my Patreon and channel, but this is kind of big. So I thought I would come on. I'm going to give everybody a couple of minutes to get on. BMG in the house. I'm going to turn this on here. There we go. Yo, Carrie, what's up, man? So I'm going to give everybody just a couple minutes because this is a sneak attack, sort of. Again, sunglasses. It's my eyes. I got to try to get it cleared up today so I can record some more videos. My eye looks really bad. Hopefully, though, the drops kick in here in a minute. But I don't want you guys thinking I'm, like, giving you pink eye through the video. Let me share this thing out so people know that we're here. Oh, man. This is a lot to cover, and it means more in a lot of things than people think it does, and not for the good. All right. Good evening, Life is Good. Where are you at, Life is Good? Good evening. Are you across the pond? King Daddy Dong in the house. Yeah, sneak attack today. Sneak attack with all this. So many people's asking me questions. I just thought it would be easier. And I have a massive video coming up at 4 o'clock today. A whole November watch list video of all kinds of movies. But I wanted to jump on here and do a quick one to kind of address some of this up. Why So Bluetooth channel icon in the house. I'm going to give everybody a couple more minutes to catch up for this sneak attack. East Tennessee. You're in the same time as me. Let's see here. Who all's in here? Gory Tiger in the house. Hey! Zenobia Wolfmoon. Did I say it right? Your chosen name. BMG making a live. AJ quietly, what's up? Why So Bluetooth before breakfast? Movie Odyssey in the house. Texas in the house. Good, I'm glad I said it right. That's how I say it in my head. But B MAGA in the house, complete with his Garbage Pail Kids avatar little picture down there. Don't think I didn't notice. Don't think I don't notice when you change it. I always notice. Flicks and Pixels, what's up, man? No, it's my eye. It's I've got like allergies. I'm taking medicine too right now just to head it off. Everybody in my house and stuff has been sick, but my eye is so red. It's like as red as that Beastmaster thing back there. Now I put some eye drops in it a few minutes ago, so it might be better here in a few minutes. It gets that red out, but I didn't want people to be like, "What's wrong with your eye? What's wrong with your eye?" Dino, what's up? Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Let's there's 40 of us in here. I don't have all day, so because my son, I got to take him over to, we lost our game on Halloween night, so the season, high school football season for us is over, and I got to take him over to clean out his locker and all that stuff. So, yeah, I appreciate it. I think we're all on the downside of it. I never got it completely. Like, you can tell my voice has been fine. But just a lot of sneezing, some nose blowing, and my eyes, man, my eyes feel like they would feel better if I could take them out and scratch them and put them back in. So I've been rubbing too much, and it was super red. They might be better now. It might be better. It's been about a half hour since I put in the drops. Yes, football season went so fast, man. It's like, and that was 10 games. We didn't make the playoffs, so that was 10 games and 2 bye weeks. So it was 12 weeks. But man, once the games start, it goes like that. So we're going to cover this. So let me get on my right page so I can click this stuff. This is in my email, but we're going to go over some other stuff too. So it says, Shout Factory is excited to announce that Groove will be the new home for our e-commerce store, enabling us to more efficiently serve our customers. As a result, ShoutFactory.com will point to our new home on Groove starting November 3rd, 2025. Our customers in Canada can order Shout Factory releases directly. Now here's the thing. If you have orders pending through previous Shout Factory, you don't need to do anything. No, you don't. But I made a bunch of orders going back to that sale on October 20th, and none of them have shipped yet. And now I can't check the status of any of them. So I made 3 big orders. None have shipped. I can't check the status of any of them. That's not a good thing. So they're all going to be fulfilled through the previous infrastructure. Here's where it gets to be a little bit of BS and trying to gloss over things. It says, in the new version of our store, you'll continue to find Shout Factory's new and upcoming releases, exclusive promotions, hand-picked collections, deep catalog, and more, all in one convenient place. And as usual, you'll find a dedicated category of pages devoted to our most popular releases, Screen Factory, Hong Kong Cinema Classics, Studio Ghibli, Shout Select, and much more. Finally, we're happy to announce that the launch of our new store, all orders will be eligible for free standard shipping in the U.S. with no minimum order requirements. We look forward to seeing you at our new store, built by fans, for fans. Happy shopping and a heartfelt thanks for your continued support. Best regards, Shout Factory team. That is polishing a turd, for sure. Polishing a turd. Oh yeah, every now and then I'll break out the old DJ voice over. I know everybody's like, you have an accent, where's your accent from? On my normal videos I chose to just keep the normal way I talk, but I can get rid of my accent. I am a trained professional. So all of that sounds like good things. It is not. It is not. And that is indicated by a few things here. So, let me share this tab instead. So I think that's Ken's physical media report. Everybody's reporting this. So, in case you didn't know, they also announced a few announcements this morning. And this is unfortunately what you have to look forward to until they just don't do anything anymore, I'm afraid. And so they announced End of Watch 4K Steelbook coming out in January. They announced 2 Hong Kong cinema lines, Bullet in the Head, and Once a Thief. Now, we already knew they invested a lot of money in this line. In order to get some of that money back, they are licensing that whole catalog overseas to Arrow. So, they got to put it out here because they got nothing else they can do with it. Nobody else is going to buy it from them. So that they announced those 3 releases and a 4K of Awakenings with no slip. Put a pin in that, because We're going to come back to that in just a second. And that's it. That's all they're not going to do, apparently, an official announcement each month like we're used to, like the Scream Factory, Shout Studios announcements. You're just going to get stuff dropping out on Groove whenever they announce it. So this is how you're going to get it going forward. And then here, this oddly enough announces today with it. Now, if you guys know, I have IMDb Pro because I have an IMDb account. I don't know what happened here. I guess they licensed this too because Shout Scream had the rights worldwide to this on physical media to Day of the Dead. What concerns me here is, and I'll come back to the chat, y'all. What concerns me here is I'm afraid this is the tip of the iceberg. You see no horror from Shout Scream, a couple of bare bones releases, no slips, which we'll get back to. We knew Day of the Dead was supposed to be coming from them. Then you look over to Arrow. In the past couple of months, Arrow has licensed, and somebody accused me of saying Arrow's stealing. I'm not saying they're stealing. They're obviously licensing Scream Factory Blu-rays like Deadly Friend, City Slickers, they're all that kind of stuff, and the Hong Kong cinema line. They are licensing. So Scream Factory is just licensing stuff out all over. That sounds good. It is not, because you're going to get stuff piecemealed out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry out there. And we have no standard of knowing where and when it may come from or what the quality may be. And a lot of these other companies do not see. Scream Factory wasn't just, they didn't just sell 4Ks, y'all. They were one of the biggest 4K restorations houses out there. 4K creators out there. So we're going to lose that overall. We're going to lose that. So as they piecemeal stuff out to acquire money because they're moving away from the traditional way that we know it, you're going to get stuff that you would have gotten from Shout at a high quality 4K that you could count on, and you don't know where and when it's coming from now. And that's just part of it. The other part here is this with Groove. Anybody that orders from Groove knows that Groove is slipcover roulette, the same way as Amazon. And you say, oh, well, they release these all the time with no slipcover. Hold on one second. Let me pull this up. All right. So here's Shout Factory on Groove. This is not just changing where you're buying it from. Do not get it twisted. That's what it looks like. That's the first movement, unfortunately. Yeah, Day is in 4K, but that, from what I understand, is from a company that has been guilty of AI upscales to 4K before. I don't know. That's just what I've been told. We don't know, though. Like, if you had gotten the full restoration from Shout, who had the elements, you would know of what kind of quality it was going to be. Because Shout's the one that had the elements, Scream Factory. So here's the thing, y'all. Look at this. Beastmaster, the price is down a few dollars, but guess what? No slipcovers. They're not going to be promised. Cloud Atlas had a slipcover and posters and stuff with it. And I'm talking about as of yesterday on Shout's website. So did Beastmaster. Anybody that has ordered from Groove, and I've already had this confirmed by a couple of people in my comments that I posted, you've been able to order some Shout Scream stuff from Groove for about a week or 10 days. The first people who've already got their shipments, they didn't get slipcovers with stuff that initially showed slipcovers on the Scream Factory site. They didn't get slipcovers all that stuff, you're not going to be able to count on it. Groove is roulette when it comes to that. So, but they're not as easy to return to as Amazon. So, if slip covers matter to you, it doesn't look like are going to be able to guarantee that you get a slip cover or not. See, Austin says he's always gotten a slip from Groove. It is 70-30 against in my experience. Brian over at the Last Movie Standing thought he had it figured out what has slipped and what doesn't. Then he got stuck with movies that had no slips. I've had countless people already commenting, yes, I got my first Screen Factory order from them that I ordered like a week ago. It was supposed to have slips. They don't have slips. That is that's a problem. So, you know, if it matters to you, people who don't care about slips, then they don't care. See, look at this. So Austin said that, and Shelton says he's never gotten a slip. That is the problem here. Yes, they are not going to show for sure whether or not you get a slip. They're not. This Beastmaster yesterday on Shout Factory had a slip. Now it's showing only with no slip. So you have no way of knowing. Also, there is a cost for everything. Remember me telling everybody that if Shout Factory Screen Factory as we know it goes away, there will be repercussions everywhere. Here's another one of your first big repercussions. You see this red bar right here? You know how Groove has always done 20% off your first order, and you could always create a new account if you needed to get 20% off? The first thing they've done is chop that from 20 to 15. So, and that's site-wide. It's chopped from 20 to 15. So, the first thing they did was get rid of that. It's chopped down 5% less of a discount. And you know, when you lose a big producer of 4Ks, when they scale down and change and then probably eventually go away as you know it, there's repercussions, man. Because now everybody else, they can charge you more because there's less competition. And they don't have to maintain the same standard of quality. I mean, literally with their 4K restoration, Screen Factory was neck and neck with Vinegar Syndrome. You lose that now. That is the other issue too, because in some of the comments, somebody said, hey, I'm already returning the order. They were Screen Factory box sets of stuff, and the box sets were trashed. So, and they didn't get slips. Yeah, if it's a new movie, I got to know whether or not it's got a slip or I'm not buying it. So the ambiguous nature of this, like, is this going to have a slip if I order it? Yesterday on Screen Factory site, it had a slip. Today it's showing no slip. Same right here with Cloud Atlas. Hell, it had a couple of posters, slips, everything with it. It's not showing it. Hey, it's $3 less, but it's not showing any of that stuff. So you have no way of knowing. Like, look at, like, here's pre-orders, y'all. Like, how the hell do you know? Like, let me get it back to just Shout. I mean, it just looks like another Groove page now. Like, there is no Shout as you knew it. Like, how do you know? Like, none of these... Like, now Rabid is not showing... Rabid had a slip and a poster. It's not even showing with a slip anymore. Like, do you know? None of the description says it. So, as a collector, all that stuff matters, man. Hey, Beetlejuice, what's up? Yeah, Orbit will tell you. Vinegar Syndrome tells you, you know, Screen Factory used to know, because if it didn't show with a slip, it didn't have one, for the most part. Oh, AJ. You can literally create a new account each time. Just so you know. Groove is owned by Universal. Yes, it is. Yes, like I mean that you need to let people know. You got to let people know. Shout Factory is gone as we knew it. It is gone as we knew it, Brogu. It is gone as we knew it. It is all it is now is a page on Groove, and that's it. And you got to remember that the announcements that we just got, they didn't actually come from Shout Factory or whatever. They're on here. They just pop up on Groove and Dawn of the Discs and stuff like that puts them out. And these were already in process, so we don't even and that's just 4 titles, and 2 of them are Hong Kong cinema. One is a standard 4K no slip, and one is a steelbook 4K. And no horror, no, and that's it. And it just kind of it just goes out there. So like the days of, it looks like the days of monthly what's the big announcements from Shout and Scream and all that, that looks like it's gone. It's just gonna whatever they put out is gonna appear on Groove whenever they put it out, and that's gonna be it. I have a feeling that's going to happen too, because you got all these people who are used to buying this stuff, and you get collectors. Let me see if my eye's still red, y'all, so I can take these off. It looks better now. It's been about an hour since I put the stuff in. Now I can't see because those are prescription. It's not. It's what we had with it is gone. It's not just a change over. You're not all you are is nothing but a page on Groove site now, and that's it. You're just like everything else on here. It's just a. It really sucks. So look, you're just literally look at the top. You're just literally you're just a little tab on Groove. You've been reduced to a tab on Groove's website. Groove. I don't know if I don't think Groove owns them. No, I don't think so. There was some other big company they sold out to, I guess, or merged with. No, they won't be around. This is not a good sign. They're already gone. As you knew them, they're gone. They're gone as you knew them. They're not. I don't see them putting out 4Ks now at the same level. I think they're going to continue to put out this Hong Kong line they invested so much money in. I mean, I don't think you're gonna I don't think you're gonna see it. Fuzz in the house, man. What's up? You never used Shout. So see, like I always used Shout because you got the movie a solid 2 weeks before anyone else if you buy from Shout directly. And I was positive I would get it then. Pre-order on Amazon. See, with Amazon though, like I've even pre-ordered from Amazon and not gotten the slip. So like that's always my downside with Amazon is the slipcover roulette. Usually, if you get them quickly or pre-order, you'll get the slip, but not always. I pre-ordered Stepfather and did not get the slip and had to send it back and then go on and buy it directly. But this is more than just who you order from. This is a complete change in, like, we don't know if you're getting the slip. They're not going to put out, it looks like they're not going to put out the same amount of content, the same amount of restorations they did before. The way that they announced monthly and people would get up for the announcements and everything, the way Arrow we do with Arrow, the way we do with Vinegar Syndrome and all that stuff, it's going to be gone. If it's through Groove, it's just going to come out on the site like any new release, and you'll just get some info. It looks like kind of Kino style. I mean, hopefully they get it back in, but to where they do it, because you got to understand the announcements they just made, those were in the works for a couple of months ahead of time, which is a severe downgrade because you're only putting out a couple of Hong Kong cinema titles and a bare bones 4K and end of watch and steelbook no horror from Shout and Scream, no horror, and that's 2 out of the last 3 months where they've only had 2 or 3 titles that they've put out. So that's the more concerning thing. And then on top of it, seeing that they licensed out Day of the Dead to somebody else overseas, I guess. And that was a big one that they were going to make a lot of money on that they held the rights to, according to IMDb Pro. So that's just like a bad indicator to me. And they're licensing out overseas rights to their Hong Kong cinema line and now like Deadly Friend and City Slickers and stuff like that. So it's like they're not going to be what they were going forward. And more than anything, I'm concerned about losing one of the biggest 4K restoration houses that we have, the 4K producers. Take away retailers, whoever you like to get a retailer from. Scream Factory put out, I mean, think about the months when they did whole like blaxploitation box sets in 4K and put out 5 or 6 other 4Ks, putting out a dozen 4Ks. They put out over 100 4Ks last year. That's way more than anybody else. So if we lose that, that is my bigger worry. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing, because they'll be like, oh, well, Arrow will pick up the slack, or Vinegar Syndrome will pick up the slack, or whatever, Criterion. And you guys, if you're not subscribed to Fuzz, go subscribe to Original Fuzz. He's the man. If you lose the 4K production house that puts out so many 4Ks, Arrow is only about 70-30. They do about 70% their own, maybe 75. The other 25-30% they license, get from someone else. Kino doesn't do any of theirs. They send those all to restoration houses to get those done for the most part. Criterion doesn't do theirs in-house anymore. They're going to other restoration houses. So there is the rub. Like, there's not that many of the restoration houses. So can they all just pick up the slack from Scream Factory not doing as many anymore? I don't know. Vinegar Syndrome could. I don't think they will, because their hardcore fans will then crack on them for going too mainstream. So if we lose this big 4K producer, that is my concern. The rest are like, who's gonna fill that gap in all of that quality restoration work? And if it's not there, or if it's greatly diminished, then it's going to have ripple effects, because other people, you're going to have less selection overall. So other people can charge more, and they don't have to maintain the same standard of quality because there's just less competition. You lose one of the biggest competitors out there as far as putting them out. That's what I'm concerned about more than anything. Okay, who is this Jerry guy? You're out, buddy. Well, I would say that a lot of people would argue with you that Arrow has not been as good since Zavi purchased them. But also Arrow has maintained their own site that they sell through. Arrow has maintained their own announcements, their own production schedule, all that kind of stuff. Shout here has just shut it down, and they're just a tab on Groove, and that's it. So it's still very different. I never need an excuse to buy more Arrow. Like, I'm a big Arrow fan, but like, I don't think Arrow has the wherewithal to increase to that amount. And I'm just more concerned about losing the quality 4Ks and the amount of them overall. I think I got rid of him. I think I got rid of him. I think I got rid of him. I think I got rid of him, guys. Sorry. Sooner GM, what's up? Hey, y'all, I was talking. I apologize. I didn't see him. Didn't see him. I mean, we don't know. Hopefully, they're saying they're going to. They have 4 new releases they just announced, but those would have been in the works for a little bit now, ahead of this. I don't see them putting out 6, 10, 12 4Ks a month. And apparently, we're not going to be able to be sure we even get a slipcover with anything anymore, which is really crappy, man. I mean, this is a pre-order. You can't even guarantee you're getting a slip. Yesterday, you could on the Screen Factory website. Yeah, I haven't heard either. I have had someone tell me that this company was guilty of just like AI upscale 4Ks before, and that why so blue. That's part of what bothers me. That means is Screen Factory shout? Are they not even being selective of who they license stuff out to? They're just like, okay, this person over here will take it. This person over here will take it. Overseas, this person, this person, this person. That'll suck, man. We don't want. That's what I mean about when you lose a big producer or they scale themselves down. Then some of the other big ones might pick up some stuff, maybe, and that could be good. But you could also get a lot of lower quality replacing it, just trying to grab it and put it out there. That's exactly it. That's exactly it right there. That's exactly it. Do we think Arrow's live? I doubt it. I doubt it because they already don't do all of their 4K restorations themselves. They're about 70-30. I don't know that they have the wherewithal or the want to all of a sudden increase by a whole bunch. I mean, that costs money, a whole lot of money. So they're not going to be able to just swoop in and say, we're going to, Screen Factory puts out an average of 7 4Ks a month. We're going to swoop in and do all those. I don't think they have the ability or the want to for that. The January slate is weak for everybody, apparently, now. Hopefully, I hope that they can, but like I was saying, the problem is a lot of those other boutiques, like Arrow still does about 65 to 75% of their own 4Ks, but Kino doesn't, and Criterion doesn't. So they would have to all start out. They'd have to acquire these things and outsource them basically to the same 4K restoration houses. So can then those 4K restoration houses, can they maintain a good quality and all of a sudden like have all this more work thrown at them? You know, I always say it's like if you go from having to write 2 to 3 research papers a month, that's a lot of work, right? But now somebody tells you've got to write 10 a month. Well, either you're not going to do it or the quality of all of them could suffer. That's what I worry about. Because I don't think Criterion's... First of all, a lot of Screen Factory titles don't fit with Criterion. And they don't do most of their restorations now. So I think they're kind of out. Kino, they're just buying stuff and scanning it and going on and not doing a lot of restoration work. And when they do, usually they're just acquiring a restoration by someone else or a scan by someone else. So we don't want to lose full-scale restorations in exchange for scans. And then can Arrow, who already doesn't do 100% themselves, can they suddenly pick up and like double or triple their output to fill in the gaps? I don't know. Love it, Robert. Love it. I know how that is. You know, I used to teach. So, oh, the Under Siege 4K is the best thing they announced this month for sure. And because they loaded it down so much, it should have gotten a chunky box. You didn't do any chunky boxes. That's like the 4th or 5th time in the last 12 months that they haven't done any chunky boxes, I believe. I hope I hope it's fine. I haven't heard anything negative. Oh yeah, they're gonna pay for all those, and so like for Scream Factory, that's a quick way to get cash. So like now they've been beaten to the punch on Day of the Dead. That to me, that's scary because that shows that they don't care. Because that was such a big one, they made a big to do when they found it and all that kind of stuff. And to let some other little company snake them first to market on it, I don't care if it's overseas or whatever, that was like a crown jewel for them. And, first they took it off the website. They had it up there that it was coming. They took it off, and now they're letting some little company snake them to the market on that. That, to me, is a big warning sign that they don't care the same way. Yep. I did call Garbage Pail Kids way early, way early. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that one. As soon as I saw that hair poking up over there, I remembered that. I'm like, that is Garbage Pail. And they said it was gross. Before I even posted it, like a week plus ahead of time, I messaged Brian and Jason and said, y'all, that's Garbage Pail Kids. More studio releases would not be the best thing. And I don't know that they care to increase them. Maybe. Yo, what's up? I need to check video. I need to check that tab. And see if I haven't seen it. Oh wait, I did watch one of yours. I thought I liked and commented on it with the Michael Myers masks. I need to go back and look because it puts a different, if you guys tag me in a video, it puts it like over here somewhere else, and I have to actively remember to go check and see it. It doesn't just alert me. Canadian Maker Project, I don't know because of what I said. I don't know because of what I said. Listen, y'all, Vinegar Syndrome, hardcore Vinegar Syndrome fans attack them when they put out, I almost said Big Trouble in Little China. They attack them when they put out, The Golden Child for being too mainstream. So if they're attacking them for putting out like Virtuosity and The Golden Child for going too mainstream, I don't know if Vinegar Syndrome is going to risk alienating their hardcore base because most of Scream Factory's titles are going to be considered very mainstream to the hardcore Vinegar Syndrome fan. Now, Vinegar Syndrome has the wherewithal to do it. They're a restoration house. They're expanding right now. When other people are contracting, they're expanding. But as much as I would like to see them do it, I don't know if they will because of that. Yeah, they've definitely they wanted to rush those big titles out front loaded. You're exactly right. No, you cannot go by that. Unfortunately, I wish you could. I wish you could. I've already had people say that when they ordered, it didn't. They showed with slips and they showed up without them, and that is a recurring problem with Groove. Not just with the Screen Factory Shout Studios titles. It is roulette with them. They can show it with a slip and you don't get it. They can show it without a slip and you do get it. It is 100% roulette. You cannot go by the picture. And they do not specify it in any of the descriptions. Yeah, Groove is well. The problem with Groove is they're much harder to return to than Amazon. Like if you play the roulette with Amazon and you don't get it, you can send it back pretty easy. It's harder with Groove. You need to go back and watch the stream, Sith. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. I agree with this big time, Fuzz. I agree with this big time. Big time. Big time. I think Vinegar Syndrome needs to go more mainstream too. This seems like a perfect opportunity for them. They could pull out of the weird crap too and just do more bigger type. I think you're 100% right. I think this would be an amazing opportunity for Vinegar Syndrome to expand by picking. Look, they don't have to leave everything behind. They can serve both markets. Their VSA line, the Vinegar Syndrome Archives or whatever, that was supposed to be a line for stuff that you would have saw for rent in the video store in the 80s and 90s. Like, this is the time. Grab some of these titles and put those there. I'm with you. They don't have to, they can still keep doing what they're doing as their foundation. Pick up 2 or 3 of these titles. Pick up a couple of these titles each month. You do great restoration work. You can bridge that gap. You can even get maybe a little bit more of their more obscure titles if you wanted to do that. But this is a golden opportunity. Vinegar Syndrome is already expanding. They could expand so much by grabbing some of these to a bigger market with their great quality restorations and all that kind of stuff. This is a golden opportunity because they cannot live forever off of the just completely obscure. They can't. They'll run out of those and people will tire of those. This is, man, we agree a lot of times. I 1,000% agree, Fuzz. Oh, thank you for the $5 super chat. Another Chase in the house. Picked up the Cobra 4K on your recommendations. One of the best 4Ks I've ever seen. It's an incredible 4K. Arrow killed it with that 4K. The only thing they should have done was put it in the chunky box so it could have fit with the other Sylvester Stallone release they did in a chunky box that was great, Demolition Man. But that was an awesome 4K. I'm glad that you enjoyed that one. Thank you for the super chat. That's it. Adapt or disappear. You can still serve your hardcore market and reach a new market at the same time. You can do both. Am I going to be reviewing some Thanksgiving slashers soon? Listen, I am trying to hold off on like Thanksgiving targeted stuff for about another week. And then you're going to get Thanksgiving movies, Thanksgiving comedies, Thanksgiving horror films, Food movies. You're gonna get all that from me as we get a little closer to Thanksgiving, and then we'll turn the page to all Christmas, like Christmas focus, Christmas horror, Christmas movies, Christmas adjacent movies, all that stuff. And I have a lot of big nostalgic deep dive video documentary essay style stuff on the Thanksgiving being different now, Christmas, how it's different now, nostalgic deep dives, all that stuff is coming. So just trying to, there's this weird in between area right here from November 1st to like say November 15th, where 12th, 15th, where people aren't quite ready to go Thanksgiving hardcore. They're not really ready to leave spooky season. It's just this weird spot. So to help people out, today at 4 o'clock, I have one of my biggest videos of the month, a November watch list video of movies, including a surprise on there from me. So you guys make sure to check that one out today. Yeah, see, I bought a Friday the 13th, 1980 looking for the slip and didn't get it. I've done it twice. I sent it back both times. Vincent should, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's because they're afraid of losing that core audience. But man, at some point, you're gonna run out of the just crazy obscure stuff, or people are gonna get bored of it, tired of it. You're gonna stop expanding, and if you stop growing, you're gonna die. The VSR line, that's a good point, Carrie. They're going with retail versions of those, so I think you're going to see, no boobs and stuff like that on any kind of slip cover. I think you're going to see some more mainstream slip covers, maybe, just maybe, because I've seen a couple of their titles in Barnes and Noble, so maybe that is a move to maybe, man. I'm with you, Fuzz. This is the chance. This is the chance for Vinegar Syndrome to grow leaps and bounds. Grab 25% of these Scream Factory titles that they're not going to do anymore and put them out there. Grow. You can sell them in retail. Do it. Do it. Do it. Nice pickups. A Christmas song this morning. Damn, it's early. I agree. If Vinegar Syndrome would take just 20% of these and do them, they would. And they're already growing. They would rocket to the moon. It does. It does. I think it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. Yeah, it's Terror Vision. I don't know. I don't know if they got the wherewithal yet. I don't think they can grab any of these big titles, because like they were talking about Student Bodies, or no, what was it? Not Student Bodies. There was one other movie that they were putting out the soundtrack for, and somebody asked, "Are you going to get the movie license for that?" And they're like, "Yeah, not without selling our whole company." So like I don't think they can do that yet. That's it. They can't, man. They cannot. They cannot. You have to. In this, like, it's not like we're saying go out here and start, putting out tons of like PG rated rom coms or something. We're talking about getting just a little bit more mainstream horror films. Like, come out here and get, like, I did a whole video on 50 movies that built horror that people don't think of. Like, there's all kinds of movies out here. There's hobgoblins, there's elves, there's all kinds of movies that they can do out here. Like, they could have done Dog Soldiers. And I realize it's just for instance. Like, there are plenty of those type of horror movies out there that either haven't been done or they've just been done on Blu-ray. I mean, go out there and grab 13 Ghosts, House on Haunted Hill, Valentine, Ghost Ship, all these movies that have these from the 90s that have Blu-rays and no 4Ks. Tons of movies like that they could go and get. Like, that still, their people will watch those movies. Like, I'm a huge Vinegar Syndrome fan, but I'm probably going to watch, 13 Ghosts, as crazy as it is, more times than I'm going to watch, like, Steel and Lace or something. Like, you know what I mean? There's not enough movies and not enough of that base to continue to grow your company. There just isn't. I have no idea, Severin. Like, I don't buy a lot from Severin, so I really don't know. I appreciate the $10 super chat. I don't know a lot of. I don't follow a lot of Severin. I have maybe 10 Severin releases, kind of thing. Same thing with Synapse. Like, this is an opportunity for both Severin and Synapse too, maybe to come in and grab some of these. But they're going to. That's my worry, is like, with Arrow, like, if they tried to take on too much, since they don't do 100% of stuff themselves, if they tried to take on too much, would it slow down their production schedule so much? Like, Severin and Synapse, they do good work. Man, they are slow to put out stuff. Like, Synapse and Redshirt announced, like, Fright Night 2 and several other movies, but they're like, yeah, it's going to be a year, 2 years. Like, all this, it's like, man, like, that's so long. Screen Factory, if they had them, they could be out in 6 months. Thank you for the super chat, Chase. There's 3 chases in here. 2 of them gave me super chats. That's all chase on chase crime out here. But I got to get off here in just a minute because I got to take my son in about 10 or 15 minutes. But we got a couple more minutes here. There have been, yes, Night of the Creeps. Could you imagine a Night of the Creeps VSU? You know how many copies that would have sold? A Night of the Creeps VSU? Holy smokes, that would have sold a lot. Could you imagine if they got Big Trouble in Little China and did a VSU? They could retire. They could retire on how many of those they would sell. Or Assault on Precinct 13. Dude, you know how many of those they could sell? Just insane amounts. There are other titles too, like Killer Clowns, which, I mean, that's a great Screen Factory 4K. It's incredible. You know how many of those Vinegar Syndrome would have sold? Holy smokes, the amount of those they would have sold. But there's others too that would have fit. Like, you're telling me the Fun House, Hooper's The Fun House, wouldn't have been a great Vinegar Syndrome title? Of course these fit with them. The same people buy these, so they're going to have to reach for those a little bit. Oh, I'd totally buy that. I totally would. Yeah, I mean, Synapse does great. They just never seem to do that much. They don't do that much. When they do, man, even their Blu-rays look great. Thank you. I agree with that, too. I'm not so into that. Cinematograph has been not good overall. And what they decide gets a 4K, which versus Blu-ray, has made no sense. There's been some great ones, though, but it's been so few and far between. Like, Little Darlings is great. Joy of Sex is good. great 4K of drop zone, stuff like that. But overall, it's just so hit or miss on that. But this is a chance that they could do something that would actually sell. There is no Weekend at Bernie's 4K that I know of. Oh man, the thing. Hey, well, okay, Q. I love that movie, but why is it not 4K? That's what I mean. Like you did all like what that should have been a 4K. That's not a 4K, but Who Killed Teddy Bear is 4K. That's kind of the problems. I mean, We're No Angels. You know, big movie, great cast. You did that with a Blu-ray, but you gave A New Leaf 4K. Like the what they're picking doesn't make any sense. I would have bought Gang Related like that if it was a 4K. I'm not buying it. It could come out somewhere else. Like there's no reason for me to spend that money right away on a Blu-ray. Anyone who gets that 4K is insane. Which, I mean, I know it's Fox, but The Thing would be great on 4K. Yeah, it should have been a 4K. It just makes no sense. Yeah, it's coming at some point in the nebulous future. But, yeah, we don't know when. So that's it, man. Just wanted to touch on this for a minute. The shout and scream have been reduced to a mere tab on Groove, and they are gone as we knew them. And judging by these trickled announcements today that were already in the works, and judging by the stuff they're licensing out overseas now, that they're allowing to beat them to the market, I think they're gone as you knew them. I think you're going to get a few things here and there. We're going to have to hope other companies pick up them, but there'll be repercussions. We could end up, if they're not going to have the same kind of announcement excitement around physical media. The stuff's just going to trickle out. They're not going to put out as much stuff. And then the next thing you know, other people, because of the lack of competition, maybe they overextend themselves and they don't do as good a work. They're not held to the highest standard because there's less competition. Other people can charge more because there's less competition. All of that, it sucks, but they're gone as you knew it. As a matter of fact, the last thing we'll look at here is if you try to go to Shout Studios, it just takes you to Groove now. You can't even see where it was. So if you try, never mind. I was going to show you that it said the site was gone. Now if you type in Scream Factory or Shout Studios, it takes you directly to Groove. That's what I got for you. Yeah, the Shout page is gone now. The whole page is gone. It's completely gone. It was here when we got on. It's gone now. So if you type it in, it just brings you here. Watch this. So I'm going to type in Screen Factory, and boom, it just takes me here. I don't know if I'm sharing the wrong tab. If I type in Screen Factory, Shout Studios, it just brings you right back here now. And yeah, that's it. Been reduced down to that. So anyway, I have a massive video coming out at 4 o'clock today. I hope you guys support it. This is a hard time for us YouTubers. Right after spooky season and before holiday season, there is a massive dip. The algorithm kills the channel. They're changing over a lot of things. You're going to see almost all of my content now uploaded in 4K again. I always record in 4K cinema. You're going to see everything coming up in 4K. It takes me about 5 times as long to upload it in 4K. But YouTube is about to give preferential treatment, not preferential treatment, but they're going to start looking for stuff that is 4K quality and longer videos, because for the first time ever, more of their stuff is being watched on people's TVs than on mobile. So you're gonna get I always record in 4K with my camera, but I always upload in HD, and now I'm gonna upload in 4K. So get a little bit better quality. Watch me on your OLED like I'm in your living room. But I got a video coming out at 4 o'clock today. Huge November watch list. It would mean a lot if you guys watched it and shared it, and stick it to the algorithm. And we'll follow this as it goes along, and hopefully it don't hurt us too much. But it's an end of an era in a lot of ways. Shout as we knew it is no more. But that's what I got for you. I will see y'all later. And I appreciate you joining me. Appreciate everything. And I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.